My Minecraft world is surprisingly important to me. I have been playing on it for nearly a year now, and over the course of 1,000 in-game days. Over that time, it's changed from just a Minecraft world I played on with my friend for a random fun video, to its own established world with its own series, characters, and stories like nothing else on YouTube. I've had a wonderful time building and getting slowly better and better at YouTube, Minecraft both, and the town now feels like home to me whenever I'm playing Minecraft. Every time I get new ideas for things, or just feel wonder for anything in particular, I get to build it in or around my town, often with friends, and it's something I want to continue for as long as I can. The more I can add on to my world, the better it gets, and the more I love playing on it, which is, in a way, reflective of how Minecraft is as a game, but this isn't really that kind of video. So if you want a more thorough history, all of the videos are still available on my YouTube channel or in the description. There's really no good way to describe exactly what I feel about my world within one short video, but the best I can do is give you a slight tour. I won't be able to cover everything because it would be too much for one video. However, I can at least show you my favorite parts and show you what exactly makes my world so special to me and give you a taste of what my world is like. So with that all being said, let's go into my Wonder World. Hello everybody and welcome to my Wonder World. And as I've likely already told you, or you already know, it is my world and my Let's Play in which I play Minecraft. Oh my goodness. The Minecraft music started at the perfect time. Now usually I do my introductions in the morning, but I think the nighttime's actually pretty good for, I guess, like the atmosphere. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna work with it. I think we'll do a large part of the introduction in the nighttime. Just because I never do nighttime stuff, and I would really like to. So, let's get started on the tour then. As you just saw, right now, that is my bedroom. That's where I do all the introductions. That's where I start all my mornings and stuff. And I quite love it. I made it sometime in the February, but fun fact, it's not what I started my world with at all. Actually, the house I started with, let's go down here. Down here, this is more where I got things started. This is, I think the part of the house which is the oldest, and I made it just at the very beginning. I'm gonna use some of the footage just now of me making it. But it was quite a big process. I started out with this ugly little platform because I didn't know what I wanted except for to have an elevator in the middle and also to have a second floor that's suspended like over another space, probably the water, just because it's really cool and I could be able to fish in it. But after I made this bit, after I made the main part of the house, so this big blocky structure that I'm in right now, let's look out here, yeah, this whole area, I then moved myself into a room upstairs. And while I didn't record as much as I do now, so there's a lot of spaces back in my earlier recordings where it's just a lot of nothing and then suddenly I have new stuff, this is the bedroom that I took up. It's actually now Rosalind's room. Rosalind, who is the person I started this world with, it's the person I played the game with back when I first made the world. They're not on as often now, but they're still an amazing friend of mine. But yeah, they live somewhere over in the mountain now, but their room still is here and actually still has some of my old stuff. So my bed right over here. This is my desk, which used to have a computer on it. And this is my giant window and the door leading out to the balcony, and this is where the whole idea came in, or I guess like the idea of being suspended over water or something came into play. Over time, more people got to join my world. I added some of my friends to it using the Essential mod, and now they can sit up here in their other rooms. This is Gab's room. He's a good friend of mine. I'll try to link his channel in the description. And this is CJ's. I'll do the same with him. I think personally, CJ's room is quite a bit better because he took more time to decorate it, I think. And he also has a bunch of carpets. I did ruin Gab's room a while ago. He used to have a lot more carpets. But I redid the flooring, so now there's a bunch of carpets missing, including these three right here. But yeah, that's Steve Jake's room. For the longest time, actually, there wasn't any addition outside of those rooms to my house. But eventually, I did end up getting sick of the design. For the longest time, this whole house was made of jungle wood. You can actually see it a bit in the ceiling right here. So I changed it all to oak wood, and I did a huge renovation of it, which is why I have this nice little trampoline, this open space right here. After all those renovations, after all those renovations, I then moved on to adding the last part of the house. Now, I don't know if this will be the last extension I ever build onto my house, but I think it's the last notable one for me because I don't want to make my house just like a massive mansion of sorts. This is going to be like the last section of it. But yeah, this whole area, this huge expansion with these hallways and everything above it, actually came last month because I wanted to add more stuff and make my house a little bit more lively and also have more rooms for friends because I've been thinking about adding more people into my world, and because of that, I'll need a lot more space for them. So this whole area might one day be full of bedrooms for all of my extra buddies to join the world and play with me. On top of that, there is a nice little extension over here where there's a nice little sunroof of sorts, and it's a whole open floor library. Oh, it's raining, so it's gonna be nice and pretty outside. It has a second section up here and a nice little bed area over there. But that's pretty much it for this whole area. I know I'm going through things quite quickly. I'm a little bit sorry about that, but I promise it's for a good reason. I have to go through this pretty quickly, or you're gonna be stuck here forever. But yeah, the final addition to the entire house. Oh my gosh, I love the lighthouse so much. Look at it, it's so amazing. This is, I think, my favorite part of the entire house. This is the memory room. And I know a few of you might see the signs. You might see, oh, whoopsies, I made a little mistake. You might see the signs, you might see the giant centerpiece, and you might see all this and be like, wait a minute, this looks a lot like Stampy's Love Garden. And that's for actually a good reason. I've been thinking about doing something similar to Stampy's Love Garden ever since I made this into a series. So like ever since I think like 9th episode or so, I've been really, I guess, focused on keeping this a series and adding on to it and stuff. And I finally last month decided that I would add a memory room and I would do the shoutouts that I've been talking about for a very long time. So now there are signs up, and everybody that leaves a nice comment and everybody that wants to be in the Wonder Room can now go into the Wonder Room, and I really like it. It's actually not called the Wonder Room, it's called the Memory Room. I think I just put Wonder in front of it because I put Wonder in front of most things now. Hopefully that's not too weird. But yeah, with all that being said, I think with, I know I'm kind of looking past the rooftop gardens I have. There's a lot of extra cool things in my house I would like to go through and give some attention to in the future. But I think that's all of the most important things in my house gone through. So let me go down the stairs really quickly and go out the main door so I can give you guys a nice little look at the house. Like one last time, let's just see what it looks like from the outside. So I think just over on this bridge is a good place to look over at it. I'm a little bit laggy because of the rain, but right over there, there's the house. Quite a lot of the house is actually covered up by the trees that I added, but I think it's just fine because it puts a big focus on the original house and the house that's been here for the longest amount of time. Yeah, I think I've gone through all of the most important parts of the house, so now I can move over here to this nice and secret tunnel. So this tunnel, which I made so I wouldn't have to go outside and walk to my dog's house, goes to the Cozy Candy Cabin, as I said, my dog's house. And basically, it's what really solidified this world as a series. I don't know if I would have continued to do my my Wonder World if not for the Cozy Canine Cabin, and because it was in the same episode that I got my dogs, it does have a lot of meaning to me, and I quite love it. So I think, all things considered, outside of my house, the Cozy Canine Cabin is by far the most important structure in the entirety of my world. I'm gonna go in and show you guys a few of my dogs I got. So there are quite a few of original ones. I think there are only 3 of them that aren't from the very beginning, which are Cassetti and these 2, so I'm gonna move you guys to the side. Sorry to be exclusive. Oh, sorry, Thorn, I split you up. Oh, I'm sorry. I know you guys are being buddies, but these doggies right here were actually found in a burning mansion. There's a whole story to it. Basically, there was a whole mansion in my world. There was a Pumpkin King that really wanted to kill me for a while, but moving past that, here are all my dogs. Here's Thorn, Sir Dogalot, Nico, Moro, Rusty, Seed, Maggie, and Hako. And they're really nice. They're really adorable. And honestly, my favorites. Don't tell anybody else that you guys are my favorites. And there's also Citrus. I almost left out the Citrus there. Citrus wanted his own room. But yeah, basically, this is actually, like I said earlier, the most important building. It also has my best buds ever. I can actually pet them because I have an animation mod that lets me do that. So I think I can take just 2 of you with me as I show the viewers the rest of my world. Again, I'm not gonna go over everything. I think I'm just gonna lightly go over things on a little bit of a tour. Hope they don't mind the rain here. But yeah, I'm gonna go right down here into my town. The town was added much later than the Cozy Canine Cabin was, but I think it's still really important to me because it's what really made my world, or I guess rather the town, like kind of like an art collage of sorts, where it has like a ton of cool things that you could look at. Almost every, I think, place in the town or in these in the downtown area of the Wondertown looks really, really good. So like I could go, I don't know, just like over here. And if I look over here, there's still a pretty exciting to see. There's the horse stable over there. If I go over here, you can see the doggy doctor and the skyscraper over there, and even the little blimp. And I think that's one of my favorite things about my town. And also one of my favorite things about having a world like this, where I just continue to add stuff onto it, is that I can have a place like this, which almost feels real to the extent that there's so much going on. There's so many places to go and to go see and to be in. Or I guess places to add stuff, that it feels really immersive, I guess. I don't know how to put it. It's like kind of like an art project that you end up getting attached to along the way. But yeah, over here, this is one of my more recent buildings. This is the Shake and Cake Bakery. It's where you can go and get a cake, or even get a shake, or even get a hamburger, because it's also a fast food place as it is a bakery. This is the hotel. It was added just recently, a few months ago, I think during March or so. It was sometime in the spring, and I had an absolute blast making it. In addition to the skyscraper and the courthouse over here, I think this part of the town, it's not my favorite. I think my favorite is over there near their Cake and Shake Bakery, where you can see the cinema and the doggy doctor and all those places. But it's still really important. This little area is still really important to me because it has a lot of open space for me to continue to build on, and it also is going to let me in the future do a lot of city stuff, because I have a lot of things. I really like cities. I said earlier, whenever I get wonder for something, I can build it in my world, and I really, really like cities. So if I really want to, I can add a bunch of city stuff here, and that's amazing for me. I think the last thing I'm going to go on about over in this area of my town, in the Wonder World, is the Wonder Hall. But yeah, it's basically where I store all of the relics of my world and everything that I kind of want to remember outside of the memory room. So basically, it's kind of like a museum with one item from every episode. For example, with the first episode, Unhappy Accidents, there is a rose, kind of like the one that Rosalind gave me. For episode 2, there's a bamboo stick. There is a wool block for a new guest, because I had so many sheep back then, and so on and so forth. Now, I have to add on quite a bit more, because it only goes up to episode 37 for now, so I think I'll have to put all of these in, add more space for it. But I think it's really amazing to sit back and look at all the things I made. And if you don't want to watch all of my episodes, well, at least look at this, because then you'll get a pretty good idea of how much I've done. Over here, there are also some relics from an earlier time, so back when I was playing with Rosalind. So for example, this is the most important pumpkin of the fall. It's when the Pumpkin King was around, like I mentioned earlier. And if we look over here, I have Hal's feathers and Lemon Zest's feathers. They were 2 parrots that Rosalind and I tamed that we sadly lost in the very same episode. And most importantly, I'm sorry for downplaying you guys, Hal and Lemon Zest, but I think the most important thing in the entirety of the museum... Thorn! Thorn, what are you doing? Get off the dragon egg! You're blocking the way of the rose. Oh, he's trying to steal it, wasn't he? He's a thief, he is. But yeah, this is the very first gift that I got in the entirety of my world. And it's what Rosalind gave me in the very beginning, so in the very first episode. And I absolutely adore it. The dragon eggs are too, but it's a lot less important to me. Maybe that's a silly thing to downplay, but yeah, that's the dragon egg, and that is Rosalind's rose. But yeah, that's all for the Wonder Hall. So now I can move on to, I think, a part of my Wonder World that I don't think I show as often, because I have been making less and less videos and stuff on it. So if we get a minecart really quickly out of the chest over here in the subway, we can actually go all the way down to my theme park. My theme park, by the way, is the Wonderland. So if we take the railroad all the way down, basically, the Wonderland is where I make a bunch of rides, a bunch of mini games, and all the other cool things I want to think of that I can't really put in my town. Alright, just down here, it's not too far away from my world, is the Wonderland! Now, the rest of my town is over there. You can still see a lot of it, but this is the Wonderland like I talked about earlier, and I still love the entrance to it. The entrance used to be really, really messy, and there used to be a bunch of stuff in the way, and a bunch of creeper holes everywhere. But now there's a lot more flowers, a lot of cool things, and I think eventually I'll put back in place a little bit of a fireworks system, so that when you come in, there's a bunch of fireworks. Now, the entrance of it is pretty simple. You have 2 admission office areas, so there's like one person to check in tickets and another person over here to manage it. Now, they were originally snow golems, but they ended up melting in the rain quite a while ago, so we don't have them anymore, but one day, hopefully either they or another snowman will return. But yeah, if you walk right in after giving your tickets to the workers, or rather paying for tickets, you can play all the games. Now, there aren't too many games just yet. I do want to add a whole lot to my Wonderland, but that isn't to say that there aren't any at all. For example, this is a pop and drop minigame. It technically doesn't work, so it's probably not the best thing to go over at the moment. But it's a minigame where you set yourself up in one of these chambers, you pull the lever, and then you can go through. Oh wait, guys, you should actually stand still before you guys get yourself hurt. Oh my gosh. But yeah, you go into this chamber with a mace, and then you'll be able to mace any one of the people that you're playing against. Now, sadly, it doesn't work at the moment. I'll have to fix it in the future with wind charges, but it's still a really fun idea, and I think I'm gonna add on to it. But it's just like one little glimpse as to what the rest of the games are gonna look like, or what some of the things in my Wonderland are. I'm not gonna go over absolutely every game, because there are quite a few that are gonna take a very, very long time to play, but I think I'm gonna go over my 2 favorites, which are, actually, you know what? 3 favorites. So for example, the Creeper Coaster, which has a whole bunch of stuff inside of it I want to talk about, Funny Bunny, and the Tiramisu game. So let me sit my dogs down really quickly. Oh, better yet, actually, let's take them over to the dog park. I made this a while ago so I could build whatever I wanted in my world without losing them or having them get hurt. So I'm just gonna have them sit over here under this tree. Come on, guys. Come on, guys. You can sit down right here. Come on, Nico. Come on, there you go. So yeah. I think I'm gonna take the roller coaster first and do the other things after, because the roller coaster was the most fun to make. So it's pretty simple. You just take a minecart from the exit part, and you go right here, press the button, and you'll be sent all the way up to the top. Oh my gosh, I'm getting shot at! I'm trying to have fun here. But yeah, you have 2 choices. You can either go this way or that way. I'm going to go to the nether route, which goes all the way into the nether, into the stronghold, and through the end portal, and then all the way around the inner end portal with the ender dragon. I quite love it. Now, eventually, I might replace it with a bunch of end blocks and stuff, but right now it's made of sand and cookie jars. Whoa! What? Goodness, you scared me! Stop that! Oh my gosh, skeletons, I swear. I am so sick of skeletons. Get out of here! Get out of here! I'm trying to do a thing, I'm sorry. Oh my gosh, and phantoms too. Oh, what a nightmare. But on top of that one route, which I think I'm gonna extend in the future, there is another, a bit shorter route, which goes all the way up here. You press the lever really quickly, and it sends you into the creeper and out the side of it, because if I set you through the bottom of it, it would be really, really, really weird. But it sends you right back to the entrance. And one day, what I think I'll do is I'll add a bunch extra Minecraft mobs, like the skeleton, maybe a phantom, if I'm not lucky. And it'll be a much longer roller coaster with a ton of different segments. But for now, it's just a creeper and it's just the end segment. But I'm still really, really proud of it. And it's a lot of fun to play with. Or I guess like a lot of fun to ride. Would you go away, please? Alright, up next, before I get attacked by this phantom again, it's very, very incredibly annoying. If we go up this ladder, we have the Funny Bunny minigame, and basically the idea of it is it's kind of like the board game. Is it really a board game? Well, it's like that one family game called Hungry Hungry Hippos, where you can basically try your best to get as much bunnies as possible into your basket. Now, I did play with somebody else quite a while ago, and I forgot to clean up the bunny basket. So there's a ton of bunnies over there swimming about in a little pool. So it might get a little bit too much for the bunnies, but it's at the very least fun for us. Hopefully it doesn't hurt the bunnies too much. I don't think they feel too bad about the minigame, but it can be a little bit dangerous for the bunnies because they can get hurt from fall damage. So you have to be really, really careful not to hurt them. But with all that out of the way, it's still a really fun minigame to play, and I absolutely love fishing them up. It's honestly, I think, my favorite minigame to play by myself. You are supposed to be competitive and play with a bunch of friends and stuff and try to basically fight them. Well, not really fight them, but fight to get the most bunnies in your bunny basket. But even without extra friends to play with, I still think it's nice and fun. Kind of like an arcade game almost. Oh, that's what I'm talking about. They get hurt. Kind of like an arcade game to see how many bunnies you can get in your basket. Come on. No! Yeah, you have to be really careful about the sides because they can get hurt, but something like that is the perfect reel. Oh, wait, before I walk away, there's a bunch of bunnies stuck in the scaffolding that's holding up the entire billboard I have. The little entrance sign. Oh no! I can't help them right now. I worry that I'm just gonna get them hurt. But that's a big issue. We can't have that. Oh no. I hope they're gonna be okay because I can't really help them right now, as I said. I'm going to move on to the last minigame before I go and help them, and then I'll look through a little bit of that section, but not too much of it, because there are actually a lot of minigames over there. But this is the Tiramisu game. I made it quite a long time ago, and it's pretty simple. You just have to solve puzzles, do a little bit of a parkour bit. So, for example, there is this one section you have to jump across, you have to find a secret lever that's hidden somewhere, that you'll never find it, and you jump across and get all the secrets in and about. So in a certain amount of time, there's not really a specific strict time for it. It's usually just whoever can do it the fastest. But in a certain amount of time, you have to make the cake as fast as possible. As a bunch of bad guys in quotes, your buddies playing the game with you, they're trying to fishing rod you up. They're trying to bow you to slow you down and kill you and prevent you to actually make the cake in time. And because it is such a dangerous minigame and they're actually trying to shoot arrows at you, there is a bed there so you can respawn. But yeah, I am not going to go through the entire thing right now because I'm being quite lazy. So instead of doing all that, I'm just going to cheat really quickly. I'm going to take all the ingredients from the little guide there, the little crafting guide, and I'm just going to make the cake myself. And because I know exactly how to make cake, this is going to be no biggie. I always remember how to make cake. So obviously, you just do that, and then you have a cake. Okay, no, I know how to make a cake. Trust me, I know how to make a cake. Yay! See, yeah, I won really quickly, and there's no one to dispute it. There's no one in the entirety of my Wonder World at the moment to say that I cheated. So I guess your time to beat, if you want to play this game competitively, sometime in the future, is 5 to 10 seconds. I don't know, somewhere around that time frame. But yeah, there's a lot of hidden things. For example, a bunch of barrels here, which you have to find out what to do with. And if we go over to the bad guy section really quickly by going up these little ladders here, there is another strategy you can use. And I'm going to tell you guys about it. Usually I don't tell just anybody about this because I don't want all the bad guys that play this game against me to be using this like I did. But you can go onto the very top of the tiramisu cake and you can fishing rod up your friends. And because you're at the very top, it's going to put them really high. And because there are no cobwebs at the moment, they have no way of really preventing that from happening unless they like sneak in a water bucket or something. They'll just take a massive amount of fall damage. So going up to the very top of the minigame is a really overpowered strategy to I guess take down all of your enemies. But yeah, I actually do have a water bucket. So to show off how cool I am, before we move on to the very last section of my Wonderland, and perhaps the most colorful, I'm just gonna go to the tallest section, and I'm gonna water bucket down. And I'm even gonna turn around. I'm even gonna turn around. That's how cool I am. Whee! Oh! I did it! I did it! I placed the water down. There's no one to dispute it. There's no one to dispute it. I did it. I did it, and I'm amazing at the game. I did it. I'm great. Now, technically, my favorite games are over there. My coasters is my favorite. Tiramisu cake is also one of my favorites, and so is the Funny Bunny minigame. But this place is the prettiest to look at because you have a lot more color. You have the taller tower, which I actually forgot what I was going to name it. I think one of you guys gave me a name for it, so I'll have to rename it in the future. But there's a ton of nice and colorful games. Like this little mini game, Roly Wooly, where you have to fight to get in minecart to your side of the arena. The Rainbow Rowboat minigame, where you have to take a boat onto the ice track and go as fast as possible in a race against your friends. I'm actually going to do it really quickly. I thought I wasn't going to do it because I didn't want to go over it because it would take too much time, but it's too much fun. I have to do it. I can take the shortcut. I can take the shortcut. I can take the shortcut, please. Yay! That took forever, so it probably wasn't the best timing. But I still took the shortcut. And right up here, back to the starting area. Perfect. Perfect. That was the perfect game. That was a perfect game. Like I said earlier, if you want to play that competitively, you have to beat my time. You have to do 3 laps in the time that it took me to do 1. Sorry, that's just how the game goes. That's just how the game goes. Oh yeah, and there's also the Battle Boat minigame right over here with 2 teams, the green team and the yellow team, where you basically have to guess where your opponent's boat is. For example, if I guessed F6 like this, I would mark it on my little map there, and they'd be forced to shoot their version of F6. And once they shoot their target block for F6, it's gonna set off lava right over here. So, for example, if the opponent guessed something like F5, like that, it would sink this boat, and the opponent would get a point. Pretty straightforward game. It's a lot like the real-life board game Battleship, which I quite like. And all things said, I think it's super pretty, because as I always do, I put a nice little rooftop garden. Because, of course I would. Of course I would. It just looks amazing. It's always a plus for any building with a flat roof. Oh, with that being said, though, I think I went through all the most important things. I still feel really energetic, though. I still feel like I want to talk about, like, 15,000 things and continue to rant on about my Wonderworld. But if I do that, I just know that this video is going to take way too long. Alrighty, so I went through everything. I'm just gonna get my little buddies over here. I only took 2 of you this time. Hopefully you weren't too lonely over here. But yeah, I think that's most of the stuff. I think that's all the most important things I wanted to show you guys. So you might wonder to yourself, why would you even make this video? If this is just gonna be you playing around, messing around in your world, why would you make this video? It's actually for, I think, 2 very good reasons. Or I guess 1 very good reason, and 1 very silly reason, which I'll tell you later. So, reason number 1 is that I see a lot of different Minecraft videos. I know this might surprise you guys, but me, Minecraft YouTuber, watch quite a few Minecraft videos. But yeah, basically, I think the biggest reason why I made a video like this is because I think most people, when they make a video like this, when they play Minecraft, they have the idea that you need to make this kind of like big mega base. Now, don't get me wrong, I make a lot of really huge builds. So you might look at yourself and say, well, you have all these things about mega bases, but you yourself make huge things. But I think I kind of want people, I want to challenge people kind of. I want people to make, in their worlds, in their forever worlds, their own kind of like towns and stuff. I think a Minecraft world doesn't have to be exactly just one thing. It doesn't have to be one specific thing. It doesn't have to be something that's big on YouTube. It doesn't have to be hardcore. It doesn't have to be any of that. I kind of wanted to showcase this so I could show people exactly how something like that would look like. How you can make your own town that's kind of like a collage of a ton of different things. If I zoom out with my free cam really quickly and I go somewhere over here, you can see how much I've made. And while it has been 1,000 days, and there's no giant monolith in the middle, you might think that's not that much, but it really is. It really is just a huge amount of stuff, and it looks really amazing. So I kind of want to challenge people on YouTube especially to make worlds like this, to make a ton of things in their own Minecraft worlds, to play it with their friends, play it for themselves, and to have their own kind of forever world, which you get to add a bunch of extra unique things to without worrying too much about, like, you know, a video's performance or something. And eventually, if you do all that, you could have something even better than what I have now, which is my Wonder World. Now, everybody has their own playstyle, so don't feel too bad if you do end up making a giant monolith, if you do end up making mega bases, if you do end up doing all those things. But I would just like to show you guys, because I know there's a big thing with, like, the 2-week phase and stuff, and how people play Minecraft and they feel like they want to be sometimes a little bit more creative. But basically, yeah, there's more to Minecraft than that, and I think a big part of why people like Minecraft so much, or why they got so into it, is because of stuff like this, because of these extra fun worlds that have a bunch of details and a bunch of really unique things. So I'm saying go for it. And for a lot of Minecraft YouTubers that are really afraid to make episodes and series with episodes, because episodes at the moment don't really do well on YouTube, I would like to say still try to go for it. You can still, like, make videos that you think are going to do well. But stuff like this isn't half bad either. And even though I'm not the biggest YouTuber, get out of here, you're ruining a moment. I'm still super duper happy with what I have here. And if I had to do it again and kind of sacrifice all those big gains, I think I would. I think I genuinely would. Because I would actually hate to lose all of this. It's actually the most fun I've had in Minecraft in my entire life, I think. Ever since I started playing it. I know that's like a big thing for people. But don't get me wrong though, this video wasn't all just that. It wasn't all just me trying to say, hey guys, there's other styles you can play with. It was also me trying to be a little bit selfish and give you all a tour of my world specifically, because I like when people see my stuff. It makes me feel really happy. So, was it a little bit strange of me to make this whole episode and be like, actually, there's a style that you could maybe try out, when in reality, I just wanted to show you my world? A little bit, yeah. Do I regret it? No, I don't. Because I really do hope that in the end of the day, that quite a few of you did actually enjoy this, and that you saw my world, and maybe you liked my world, maybe you didn't like it as much, but you'll still hopefully take something away from it. Don't worry, I'll replace that carrot. Don't worry about it. It's okay. Yeah, with all that being said, with all the serious-ish stuff out of the way, and all of me rambling about Minecraft like a lunatic, I think that's all from me today. So, like always, as I say in absolutely every episode, I hope you had a wonderful time watching this, and I hope you have a wonderful time with whatever you're doing in the real world as well. Oh, I almost forgot. I almost finished everything. I almost finished the whole recording without doing what I always do. And while it isn't technically in like an episode of the world of my Let's Play, I'm still gonna do it. But yeah, basically, I hope you had a wonderful time watching this, and I hope you have a wonderful time doing whatever it is you're doing in the railroad as well. But with all that being said, no more rambling from me. I said everything I need to.